Coach, how are you doing?
I'm great, and most of the people don't know who those coaches are you're talking about. That was 30 years ago.
You know, I'm an old school guy, and I'm a basketball guy, and so I love it. And you know what? Right off the bat, let's talk a little Olympics basketball. Then I'm gonna backtrack. But what happened at halftime?
Right.
The USA basketball team is down 5 to Australia, and what happened in the locker room when you're down 5 points?
Well,
What do you say? What does Coach Krzyzewski, what do you say? What do the other coaches say to those guys?
I wish we had a magic paragraph we could tell you that worked. It really wasn't that. You know, I think you have to go back to, first of all, we knew that American basketball fans were in a state of shock, so we knew that was going on, and the media. But in reality, we played 7 games that we won by 35 points, and we just hadn't been tested at all. And Australia is probably, if not the best team here, they probably are the best team here, but they're really close to it if they're not.
Coach, were the guys in shock?
They came out.
Were the guys in shock?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that anybody was in shock. Australia shot 68% in the first half, and we shot 34%. And we're only down 5. It's almost like that's a good thing, that we're only down 5 in this situation. We knew we could play better defense, which would keep them from shooting 68%. In the second half, I think they shot in the 30s. We knew we would shoot a little better, which we did, but it was still a tough game. Australia's got 4 guys on their team that not only play in the NBA, that won NBA championships in the NBA. So you're dealing with guys that know how to play. They played together for 10 years. We played them in London and had a pretty tough game with them. We ended up pulling away at the end. We had played them in Shanghai when we were going on our way to Beijing in '08, and they gave us a really tough game. So I don't think we were as surprised as most people. The other thing is we've got only 2 players that have played in the Olympics. So we've got a lot of young guys that are trying to figure it out. We don't have our rotation down because we played 7 blowout games where everybody played. So when you get into a tough game, you can't play 12 guys, so you have to figure out the rotation. The game will help us. Serbia tonight is much better than the teams we were playing for. They're a good team. They were tied with Australia late in the game. And then we have France and then another round. So I think that game was a good one for us. And the good news is our players went out in the second half and played really good basketball and won the second half by 15 points and against a good team. So we learned some things. We did some things wrong in the first half, obviously, on defense. But, sometimes it's the opponent that plays really well in a game. And you have we have trouble in our country of giving credit to an opponent that really plays well. And that's what happened. They played really well, and we didn't play our game, and we learned from it. And hopefully we'll see how much we learned. We'll find out right away tonight because Serbia is a good basketball team.
Yes,
so
they are.
That's what we're trying to get better. We're not there. Everybody thinks it's automatic. We're going to win the gold medal. It's never automatic. We've had tough games in Beijing, tough games in London. We've won a gold medal in both places, but it was not easy. It was not easy. And it won't be easy here. This is a good tournament. These teams are good teams.
Coach, Carmelo Anthony really stepped up in that game, played well, dropped 31 points, and was a difference maker. He's the elder statesman, as you mentioned. And what's it like working with Carmelo? Because you've known him since he was a young man playing basketball in Baltimore in high school, and now you've watched him grow up. What's it been like watching his maturation?
It's been great. It's a great feeling to be able to coach him. He helped us win the national championship. He gave us the money to enable us to build a practice facility, which most players don't do. He's given back to his community in Syracuse, New York, Denver, and in Baltimore. He's given a lot back. He's obviously matured, as all young men do, and I think he's a leader in his community. I think he's a leader on our team, and he's a very, very good player, one of the best offensive players that's played the game. I think he gets a huge amount of criticism because the New York Knicks aren't good. Well, that's not his fault. He's one player. I watched almost every game he's played for the Knicks because I'm like a basketball junkie or something. And he's played well. He's played very well in New York. But one guy can't win in the NBA. He made his team better in New York. He made his team better in Denver. They hadn't been a playoff team in Denver. They became a playoff team. And then the criticism was lately, well, he didn't win playoff games in Denver. Well, he had to play San Antonio and the Lakers, and they both won championships in those years. So he's a very, very good player, and he's on a good team in the Olympics, and he's helped our teams win in the Olympics, and he's helped our team, obviously, win a national championship at Syracuse. So he can win, but he needs to, be surrounded by better players, just like anybody else in the NBA. And, hopefully this year Rose and Noel will be healthy, and the Knicks will be better, and he'll have a good year.
We're talking to Jim Boehim, Syracuse University coach, but also one of the assistants at with USA Basketball. And Coach Boehim, I got to ask you, have you had a chance to sightsee at all? I know the players are getting out, and are you sending them out? Are you telling them to go to stuff?
No, they want to go. They've been to swimming. They're going to boxing tonight. And, they have to buy tickets just like everybody else. We don't get tickets for other events. And I think swimming.
They had great seats at swimming. They had great seats.
Yeah, it was $750 a ticket, I think. And I know last year they went to see Boehim or last Olympics, and it was like $10,000 a ticket or something. But they go to the events. It's hard down here because we're about an hour away from the events.
Mm-hmm.
Staying on our so-called luxury boat. My room I'm in now is 10 by 15. So
how does DeAndre Jordan fit in a cruise ship boat? How does DeAndre Jordan fit in a boat? He's a massive human being.
I don't know. I fit in it, but it's like you put one person in the bathroom, a normal person. I don't know how he does it. The shower's way too small for me, and I'm 6'4", so. But we stayed on the boat because there was no place you could secure. There aren't many hotel rooms here,
right.
So it was mainly a security thing. But we're an hour away from all the venues, so it's hard to go to venues. We'll go to the statue and we'll go to the beach and we'll do some tourist things. But it was more things to do in London. It was easier to get to the games.
Sure.
But it's just difficult down here. And plus, you play every other day. So you're playing 8 games in about 18 days. So you're focused on trying to win a gold medal. That's what's important, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Hey, Coach, we get to see guys really let their hair down when they're with the Olympic team, and we see a different side of them. Who's the real character on this team, and who's the guy that you always have to look at like, I don't even fall asleep around this guy?
It's a good group. It's a young group, so they're trying to feel their way around. Draymond Green is great, I think. I think he's a great leader. He's had that championship experience. He goes after everything. He's been fun to be around, but it's really been a great group. They have fun together. They go to things together. It's a very, very close group and a very talented group.
Hey, Coach, Dan is down there. Dan Patrick is down there. Have you seen him? Because Dan, he gets to hang around and do a lot of stuff. He also believes that if he was the 13th man, that the U.S. could still win gold. Is it even possible?
Dan's great. I love Dan. He's great at what he does, and he overrates himself quite a bit as a basketball player. Always has. But
agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. This gold medal thing. It's really not as easy as people think. We've had great teams, and we do have the best players, but these other teams have played together so long.
Mm-hmm.
That's their advantage, that they play together for 10 years. But we've had tough games every year in the Olympics, and this year will be no different. But hopefully we play the way we're capable. We still can bring home a gold medal, and that's what we're here for, and that's what we're going to try to do. But it's just not as easy as it looks, mainly because the international game is different. And it's a one game. If you have one bad night, you're done in the medal round. So it's not as easy as it looks. We can be favored, but it's still always comes down to a couple plays in the gold medal game if you get there.
Coach, real quick before you go, I heard the gymnast came over and hung out with you guys at practice. What was it like seeing Simone Biles, and how did she stack up next to like the bigger guys like Boogie Cousins?
Well, there were a couple of smaller girls than her, but she was not there. Some of the team came, but the rest were at practice. So it was a lot of the girls that weren't playing. But it's incredible how small they are. They're really really tiny, and seeing them next to the players was something. But yeah, we've had some swimmers, we've had some rugby guys at practice, and of course at the games, everybody tries to get there. The attendance has been great, and it's been great. It's great to take part in the Olympics, but it's more of kind of business than anything else. And you don't want to leave anything unturned because you want to win a gold medal. That's really what it's about. And these players have been great. They're giving up a month of their summer, and obviously they've got a lot of money and a lot of things, but it's still, for the players to give up a month, it's pretty good, pretty neat, and we're really happy with this group. It's a great group.
Coach, appreciate your time. I know you have a big game against Serbia tonight, one of the greatest there ever was. Jim Boehim, thank you for joining us here on the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. And Coach Boehim, once again, love you and love those great Big East games. I hate conference realignment, but, boy, I still love what you're doing up there in the Carrier Dome.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.